Hello everyone, my name is Daniela Linero and I'm a teaching assistant for the Birds of Southern Wisconsin class at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, taught by Dr. Anna Pigeon. In this video, I will explain how to use an R script to help you evaluate your knowledge of visual and auditory bird identification for the species covered in class. The first thing that we're going to do is check whether we have R and RStudio installed on our computer. So here I'm going to search for RStudio. I do have it. But if you do not have them installed, a simple Google search would lead you to many tutorials explaining how to install them. So here I'm going to type R and RStudio installation, and you will find many resources to do that. Once you have both R and RStudio, we will go to the GitHub page that was shared on Canvas and download both the CSV file and the .rmd file into the same folder on our computer. So I'm going to start with the CSV. Here you can find the download button, and I'm going to save both files in the same folder. So one, then I return to the main page. I click the .rmd file and I'm going to download it as well. Now, let's take a moment to explore the files that we downloaded. So I'm going to go to the folder and let's start with the CSV. This file contains a table with the bird species that we will be learning this semester, and it also indicates which week each species is covered and whether we are required to learn their sounds and both male and female plumages. So that's the CSV. I'm going to close it. And then we have our RMD file. So I'm going to open it with RStudio. This is a markdown file which allows us to add and read text more easily than a regular R script, and especially if we select the visual option at the top here. So I'm going to select it. It's going to load for a couple of seconds. Here we're going to click OK, and then we can better read the file. So here the file says that the code will allow us to retrieve photo and sound links from the All About Birds website that you can access here. And this website is run by the Cornell Lab. And once we get all of those links, we will be able to display random images and sounds so we can practice identifying species. And the code will finally show us the correct answer for each one of the images or sounds that we are seeing or hearing. So the first step in the code is to load the libraries needed to run all the functions that we're going to use and install them if we do not have them already. So all you need to do here is to click the run button, which is this green arrow. So we're going to run it. It takes a while, and once it's finished, the next step is to load our bird list. We're going again to run the script, and then once it is loaded, you will be able to see the table in the panel here in the right, and you can open it if you want. So this table is called list underscore file, and it has the same information that I just showed you in Excel. Now, the third step is to define all the functions needed for our quiz. This code is fairly long and a bit complex, but don't worry because there is no need to make any changes. You only need to run it. So again, we hit the arrow, and once it runs, we go down to the fourth step. So this step is retrieving the image and sound links for the species that we're interested in studying. For this step, we need to know the name of the table containing the species list, which we already know is list underscore file. And we also need to specify which week or weeks we want to study. So for example, week 1 would be only winter resident birds. And finally, we need to decide whether we want a reduced test or not. In a reduced test, the quiz will show you a maximum of 2 images per species, and if the test is not reduced, then it will show you around 7 images per species. So here is the code we will use to obtain the links both for pictures and for sounds, And for images, all we need to do is to specify here the weeks or weeks and whether we want to reduce test or not. So for example, here I have the first week, but I could say I want a week 2, week 3, or I want, for example, from week 5 to week 10, or things like that. So here's the way to include multiple weeks, but I'm going to leave it at 1. And with reduced test, we can select true if we only want 2 images per species, or false if we want more images per species, around 7 per species. So I'm going to leave it at true. And for sounds, the only thing that we need to change in this code would be, again, the number of the week that you're interested in. So I'm going to run this. And we see that the console shows us the progress as the links are retrieved. So we see here how long it took. And then finally, we were able to run the quiz function. So this function asks for similar inputs. The species list, we already know, is called list underscore file. The weeks, whether we want a reduced test or not. And here we have a different parameter that we need to specify, which is the mode. And it asks you whether you want images or sounds. And finally, in the variables that store the links we downloaded, which are called results underscore pics and results underscore sounds. So these are the same ones that we just created here and that hold all of the links. For example, if you want to see those tables, we go here to the right. Here we have results pics and we see the links, the, the response or the answer of the picture, and the species name. If we go to result sounds, we see the same. Link, the species name, and this would be the official link associated with the All About Birds website, and this is a link that will open without showing you the actual species name. So these are all the parameters that the function has, and here I have a few examples of how to use the quiz function. So the first example is an image-based quiz for week 1 birds using a reduced test, meaning a maximum of 2 images per species. So when we run the function, or first let's check what we have. We have our function called bird quiz. We have the file that contains the species names, the weeks that we want to study, the mode, that would be in this case pictures. We want a reduced test, that's true. And what is the name of the table that holds the links, which is the same one here. So results underscore pics equals the same name. We're going to run it, and this will open an image of a bird in the browser. In this case, it's a red-breasted nuthatch, and these images are displayed randomly. So every time that you run the function, you will not see the same results because images are sampled randomly. So here in this case, you will see the bird, you will try to identify it, and then we go back to R, and it says press enter to reveal the answer. We will press enter, and we see the answer, a red-breasted nuthatch, and is clarifying that it's an adult male. So here we have more examples. The second example uses sounds. In this case, if you want to study birds from weeks 1 through 3, for example, I first need to download the sounds again because here previously I only used week 1. So I need to download or obtain the links again, but including from week 1 to week 3. So we run this function first called the scrape sounds, and we give it this same file as always, the list of the species, and then we specify weeks 1 through 3. So I'm going to run this. Again, here in the console, I can see the progress. And then we're going to run the bird quiz function. We give it the list of species, the weeks we're interested in, we specify that we want sounds, and again, we give it the table that holds the links. So we're going to run it. And in this case, we will see here the option to play the sound.
LNS catalog number 22938.
Okay. Sometimes these audios include the voice of someone speaking at the beginning, but you just wait and you will see the sound of the bird. And just as with the pictures, here we go to enter and we will see the answer. In this case, a house finch, and the link where you can see the actual audio website. And here, if you wanted to keep practicing and keep practicing more and more species, the only thing that you have to do is just click run and run and run again. So, for example, for here for the pictures, you want to test another picture. Here, we click run again. It will show us an American goldfinch. In this case, we see the answer. Then if we hit it again, it will continue to show us different pictures of birds in a random order that we can use to study. And we can keep doing that until we run out of pictures. It will a message will appear saying there's no more pictures to show, or just stop whenever you want. And the same thing with the sounds. If you keep running and running the function, it will open and open different sounds. But you always have to see the answer first and then run it again and we'll open and open sounds. And here finally, the example number 3 shows you how to study all the species covered throughout the semester using both images and sounds. So you can use this to practice as well. And that's it. If you have any questions, please let your TAs know.